Beautiful Capricorn, how are you? Welcome to the channel. Waterfall, blessings to you, to your loved ones, to your spiritual guides. Let's bring them all to this reading right now, this timeless reading that's going to navigate you through your general situation, your love life, your career. I'm going to touch on all those points with the goal of bringing you some light, some self-knowledge, some new intuition, new support. All that you may need right now, I want you to find it here. So I'm using the Nordic Goddesses Tarot to start with, and we start out with the Sun, which is the goddess Sol, Suna. And I have Fula, which is the goddess representing the major arcana, that's the world. Beautiful, beautiful Capricorn. And then we have the Magician here. Wow, amazing cards, the best I've drawn so far. So the Sun is a card of joy, of course. It's a card of success. Excuse me, Capricorn. I apologize. And then the second card is the World, which is, you know, it brings this completion, this fulfillment. It tells you that everything that you want in this life is within your grasp. So if you let yourself shine in this moment and you use your inner magician here, you know, your talents, your resources, then you're unstoppable. That's what the tarot brings, and what a nice way to open up a reading. You're unstoppable. That's where you are, Capricorn, at this moment. You just gotta let your true self shine brighter. You really have to put yourself out there and show the world the talents you have, the abundance of wisdom that you have. You know, this card is the guiding card for my readings this week, and it's the glass slipper. I'm using this fairy tale oracle here, and it's the glass slipper, you know, from Cinderella, and it talks about you exactly what I just told you, that you need to let your light shine on. Don't pretend you're something else. Don't try to be someone else, because what you are is incomparable, and that's what the world wants you to use. So forget what people are showing social media, forget what people are telling you to be, or, you know, the trends right now, or whatever honestly keeps you from accepting everything that you are. You need to let that go, because you have everything that you need inside you. I'm using the Egyptian deck right now, and this 3 of coins here couldn't be more perfect, because it talks about working on something you love. And then we have the King of Wands, you know, that showing here that, you know, if you use your will and you really get involved with things that are really interesting to you, then the world is yours. And I want some clarification for the Magician, please. And the tarot brings out the 10 of Cups. Capricorn, I haven't seen a reading this good in a while. It's just so amazing here what you're creating. You really, like, your determination and the way you work in life and the things you do, like the way you do things. Again, it's yours and no one else's here. And the only way that you're going to keep the sun goddess from shining on you and radiate this positivity, this vitality, this joy, is if you don't believe in yourself, and if you don't believe in your happiness. The moment that you try to change or adapt to things that, you know, have nothing to do with you, then you block all the good things. But as long as you open up and you work with, you know, you work hard on the things you love, then the world is present here again. And this King of Wands is just amazing because of his energy and his ability to make things happen for him and for everybody else. And the charisma he has, the power that he brings, it's exactly what we're talking about here. And there's nothing, look, this Five of Swords here is like, talks about, there's no way you're not going to succeed in what you're doing right now if you do the things that I just told you. So believe in your happiness and believe in who you are, and work in the things you love. Get involved with people you're really interested in. Don't judge yourself too harshly, because that's not going to take you anywhere. There's no reason to do that. Don't judge other people so harshly, okay? Let that go. If that, and if people are too judgmental, let them go as well, Capricorn, because you don't want that. I see here that there's the end of a period, you know, where you've been holding on to things that didn't work out in the past. And you already acknowledge what you did right and what you did wrong and why you blocked your happiness before. So I think that you're in a phase of transition right now where you really like being careful with the things you do, because you don't want to make the same mistakes. I think too much logic, Capricorn, it's not. If you use too much logic, especially when choosing a partner here, because I have the King of Swords reversed and the Queen of Coins in reverse, then you're blocking this perfect match from coming into your life. You really have to balance your logic with your feelings. Does that make sense? You have to bring them both. You've been trying to suppress that, and that keeps you from like a good social life, a good relationships, because you're missing that. For some reason, you're not, you know, you have a little bit of, it's challenging for you to balance your emotions and your logic. Capricorn is a very rational sign, so you're always going to go towards, you know, your logic, but what about your emotions, Capricorn? You're not made of glass. You're not made of stone. You are a human being, and you do have feelings that you need to understand and work on. I like what I'm seeing here. It seems like, yeah, see, another, again, the Five of Coins reverse. You're really letting go of, you know, anything that bothers you in the past, any losses, any regrets. You let it, see, you're letting that go. Another 5 here. You don't want any more conflict with people, and especially you don't want any more conflict within yourself. You want to accept things as they are. What has happened has happened. There's nothing you can do to change that. You can't control everything. Emperor reversed. You know, not everything can be controlled. And you don't want to get involved with very controlling people, because they set your life back. And the last card is what? Okay, a Knight of Cups. Beautiful. So you're really gonna work with your emotions for a change here. Seems like you want to find, if you're not in a relationship yet, I'm gonna go into romance now, then you really want to find someone. And you're just gonna, and even in life in general, you kind of want to lead with what's in your heart for a little while. You know, it's a good experiment for you. Okay, romance for Capricorn. Okay. Eight of Wands reversed. What else for Capricorn? What else for Capricorn? Ooh, Six of Cups, Seven of Cups, beautiful. Okay, Capricorn. So we start off with an Eight of Wands in reverse. And it talks about taking it easy, taking it slow. You know, be mindful moving too fast when you find someone you're interested in. Even if you're really interested, this lady in red here, it's like, she symbolizes like, oof, all this passion. So it could be a man, it could be a woman, doesn't matter. Just make sure you don't, even if you fall in love fast, that you know, take it easy. Because the person you're with or the person you're going to meet, it's a person that, you know, she wants the same thing as you. She wants victory in love here. She really wants a relationship. So, and it talks here about some illusions or, you know, too many choices here. So let's move on because I need a little more clarification here for Capricorn, please. Five of Wands. Ooh, Four of Wands. Okay, so King of Cups. So okay, so it talks here about, you know, slow movement in a way, the movement that's not happening so fast because of some internal conflict within you or the other person, okay? The lady in red is here in both cards. So whoever's more feminine in this situation, they have some issues that they're, you know, still working out. So you're gonna have to be mindful of that. And if you take it easy and you respect that, then look what you're gonna find. A beautiful Six of Cups with a Four of Wands, which is total victory. And in both suits. I mean, it's amazing. This relationship is just wow. Wow. And one of you guys is a little more prone to, you know, looking for love in a lot of different places, or sort of like coming up with this idea for the relationship. Or maybe you have like, oh, this relationship needs to be like this to be successful. But the King of Cups says here, clarify. Oh yeah, King of, okay. So let that go, okay? Too many options are not going to bring you this. You know, it seems like you have a lot of options. But they're all illusions. What you really want to find here is this King and Queen of Cups. You want this perfect match here. You really want to find somebody who's looking for love, who's been waiting for you, for someone like you. And you have to show yourself as somebody who wants that too. So don't show something that you're not, okay, Capricorn? Because this person wants a true relationship. And Tarot, tell me a little bit more about this person here. What is this person like? Okay. So this person has had a past in relationships where she had romance that was just too overwhelming for her. Like, it seems like this person always took on the reins of the relationship. And that's what brought about this Five of Wands here that we already talked about, this internal conflict. Because this person wants, you know, she doesn't want that again. She really wants to find true love. So there's nothing wrong with this person. She just, or he, sorry, they need just to get to know you better and understand that you could be the perfect match for them. Does that make sense, Capricorn? I hope so. This was your reading for today. I hope it helped someone out there. Again, a waterfall blessings to you. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Big kiss. Bye-bye.